Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is actually coming into contact with this very important line of support in the RSI, and we're getting very close to the next volatile move just about to happen in the Ethereum price. So definitely keep watching this video, because later in the video as well, I will be updating you guys on Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and also towards the end of this video, I'll give you guys a quick update on Solana, because Solana has been one of your most suggested altcoins in the comment section down below. So don't forget to leave any suggestions that you have in the comment section down below, and I might end up turning your suggestion into a video here on the channel. And just before we jump into all of this important information, definitely make sure you're leaving a like on this video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future updates. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And first of all, just recapping my last few Ethereum videos, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this $4,000 high down to this low at around 3,650 approximately. What we have here is the golden pocket coming in at pretty much exactly $3,500 US dollars, and that's pretty much exactly where Ethereum has found strong amounts of resistance recently. So while the price of Ethereum is below the golden pocket, really we can't flip overly bullish just yet. I have mentioned in recent Ethereum videos that I'm actually leaning a little bit more bullish than bearish in the short-term trend here, considering the fact that Ethereum over the past few days has broken above important resistance, but soon we're potentially entering an important time where we need to hold above those previous resistance levels and flip them into new support. If we can do that with a higher low forming on the Ethereum chart, then that will basically confirm that this is an uptrend. But regardless of whether we're in an uptrend or not, we still need to break above that golden pocket before we can flip much more bullish, because the golden pocket is one of the most important Fibonacci levels. And if we can get above $3,500 US dollars, then I would expect Ethereum to quickly gain up towards the 78.6% Fibonacci level, coming in at around 3.7k. And if we continue any higher than that price range, then I would expect Ethereum to continue up towards $4,000 US dollars before our next point of resistance. But obviously, we can't really pay attention to those much higher price targets until we first break above the golden pocket. That's definitely the first major step for Ethereum, because while we're below it, we could see a little bit more of a rejection here to the downside. But I'm also looking at the price oscillators here. So I'm talking about the RSI and the MACD, because first of all, the MACD has just recently seen a small bearish cross on the 4-hour chart. So that just basically means that we could be due for a little bit of bearish price action in the short term, and we're pretty much already seeing that playing out just in the short term. Once again, this isn't anything major. And also in the RSI, we are seeing a little bit of a pullback, but you can clearly see on the slightly bigger picture that we're in quite a strong uptrend. We're seeing a lot of higher lows, and in fact, higher lows along this exact line of support. And right now, the Ethereum RSI is getting very close to testing this exact support level. The support level is coming in at pretty much exactly 50 on the RSI, so in the middle of the RSI band. And right now, Ethereum's RSI on the 4-hour chart is coming in at around 52. So this is important that we hold this level, because the last time that we actually broke an uptrend like this in the 4-hour RSI, that was actually a sell signal for Ethereum. As you can see, if you're looking at the corresponding price action to the point where we actually broke this upwards trending line of support in the RSI, that was after a bullish move to the upside, which by the way was a move just above 2 previous highs. And then we started drifting to the downside into this line of support, and we broke below the line of support in the RSI. And the moment we did that, and especially as we flipped it into resistance, that was basically a signal to perhaps enter a short position or sell a bit of Ethereum, because after we saw that, more bearish price action was on the way. And taking a look at what's happening right now, we had a bullish move to the upside into a high slightly higher than 2 previous highs on the chart, and we're forming a similar upwards trending support line in the 4-hour RSI. So really the question is whether or not we hold this RSI. So getting a bounce here soon is actually a deciding moment for Ethereum in the shorter term, because especially if we see a strong break below this upwards trending support line in the RSI, then I actually would expect a little bit more bearish price action to come into play over the next few days or so. But keep in mind, we can still have bearish price action in an uptrend, just like how in a downtrend we can have times where we are bullish. So overall, I'm leaning slightly more bullish until we start breaking some of these important lines of support. And speaking of lines of support, checking out some some support levels for the Ethereum price, we have the 38.2% Fibonacci level coming in at around 3.2k, and also that's pretty close to the 50-day EMA. The 50-day EMA is coming in at around 3,160, which is also coming in very close to these previous resistance points just here. And of course, if we break above resistance, that usually flips into new support. So in that small range between 3,150 and 3.2k, I would expect a decent amount of support there for Ethereum, at least just in the short term. So the next few moments for Ethereum potentially decide the price action over the next few days. And flipping over to the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing some similar things. So of course, a small pullback in the RSI straight into this upwards trending line of support where we have previously found huge amounts of support. And we're also seeing just a small bearish cross in the MACD on this 4-hour time frame. So as I just said, this basically means that in the immediate short term, we are due for a little bit of bearish price action, and we are already seeing that. Now it's just important that we remain above this line of support in the RSI, because if we can see that, then I would expect a move similar to something like this coming soon. And these two moves that I've just circled are around 6.5%, nearly 7% to the upside, and this second move is around a 6.5% move to the upside as well. So for as long as we can hold this line of support, I would expect another 6 to 7% move to the upside, which would potentially break this important line of resistance. And when we're taking a closer look at this line of resistance, we've clearly found 4 perfect touch points along this exact line. So it's definitely strong resistance for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And right now that's coming in at around 0.072 Bitcoin per Ethereum, which from the current price at the time of filming this video is another 3% gain to the upside. And what's very interesting is if you actually bring out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this high just here down to this low just here, this is also coming into contact with a short-term golden pocket, which as I always mention is one of the most important Fibonacci levels, and that is providing huge amounts of resistance for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So obviously if Ethereum can see a break above all of this resistance, that would be absolutely massive and probably set up the price for another huge move to the upside if we can break above those important resistance levels. But while we're below those levels, we just can't get ahead of ourselves, and just in the immediate short term, we could be in for a little bit more bearish price action, just similar to like what we saw here and here. So nothing too crazy, because remember, this is zoomed in quite a lot. So when you're looking at this bearish price action, that was only around a 4, nearly 5% move to the downside, so nothing too crazy. And in regards to my Ethereum versus Bitcoin strategy, obviously if you were watching the channel a few days ago, right down here, I moved a little bit of my Bitcoin into Ethereum in anticipation of this move to the upside. So of course that played out pretty nicely in the immediate short term, and we ran straight into this line of resistance as expected. But now, of course, what we would love to see is a bounce sometime soon and another retest of this line of resistance for this move to continue to be profitable. And right now it is still a profitable trade if you did decide to move a little bit of Bitcoin into Ethereum at that stage just there when I gave you guys that alert. But yeah, as of right now, I'm basically just holding my positions. I haven't moved any more Bitcoin over to Ethereum, and I haven't moved any Ethereum back into Bitcoin as of right now. And quickly taking a look at the Solana to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame, this is one of your most suggested altcoins in the comment section down below. So definitely make sure you're leaving comments down below with your favorite altcoin if you want to potentially see that altcoin here on the YouTube channel. And I'm totally open to other crypto suggestions as well. For example, I saw a couple suggestions recently wanting me to make a video about passive income in crypto and how to earn interest on your crypto. So I could also make some videos like that as well if you guys are wanting to. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get straight into the Solana charts. And what you can see here is we've gotten a perfect rejection along this exact level of resistance. When you're zooming out further on the chart, we've previously found huge amounts of support along this exact trend line. And then the moment we broke below this trend line, we actually flipped it into resistance with a rejection right here immediately after we broke below. And then a few days later, we came back up for another test and we got another perfect rejection along this exact level of resistance. So this level back then had already been confirmed twice as important resistance. And then just recently, we've come back up for another retest of this exact level and obviously found some resistance as I just mentioned. And this level right now is coming in at around $176. And what's also interesting about this area of resistance that we've just ran into, taking a quick look at this previous triangle pattern that was forming for Solana and measuring the technical price target out of that pattern because clearly we broke out to the upside, and the technical price target for this pattern was actually coming in at around 173, nearly 174, and at that time that was almost exactly where this line of resistance was coming into contact with. And if that's not enough confluence already, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high down to this swing low at around $115, what we've got here is the golden pocket coming in at around $177, which is providing huge resistance for the price of Solana. So what does this mean in the immediate short term? Well, it means with a rejection along this level in the immediate short term, we are looking slightly more bearish, and we're already seeing that play out, just a small pullback to the downside. Obviously, no big crash or anything, but then of course, if we can see a strong break above all of this resistance, then that would set up the price of Solana. And by the way, the top side of this golden pocket is coming in at around $180. I'd like to see a break above $180 before flipping much more bullish again on Solana in the immediate short term at least. Obviously, in the longer term, I am very bullish on Solana because just as a quick side note, I've been moving a little bit of Solana and Ethereum around, and just to compare, the Ethereum transaction fees that I'm paying myself at the moment are roughly around $15, and the Solana transaction fees that I'm paying myself right now are roughly around 5 to 10 cents. So at least right now, Solana's fundamentals are looking very strong. So obviously that gives Solana as a project long-term value, but it doesn't matter how good a project is. For example, Bitcoin goes through bullish and bearish times, no matter how good its fundamentals are. So in the short term, we're going to see a lot of bullish and bearish price action, but in the much longer term for Solana's future, I am very bullish on Solana. And by the way, talking about potential price targets to the upside, if we can break above all of this resistance, initially we have the 78.6% Fibonacci level coming in at around $195. But honestly, if we see a strong break above the golden pocket with a lot of volume backing up this move, then it would actually be unlikely that would stop at only $195. In the potential scenario where we see a strong break above the golden pocket, I would expect Solana to continue further into the $200 price range and potentially come up towards the all-time high, which is, by the way, sitting at around $215. And keep in mind, from the current price of Solana to the all-time high, that is nearly a 30% gain with zero leverage at all. So there's definitely some major opportunities moving forward in Solana, but just keep in mind that all of that bullish price action will not happen until we finally break above that golden pocket. And something else that's potentially forming here is a head and shoulders pattern on the 2-hour time frame. You can clearly see the left shoulder and the head, but right now we're just kind of in the middle of forming the right shoulder. I'd like to see a bit more of a right shoulder form and a break below the neckline before we can confirm the pattern. So keep in mind, this pattern is not confirmed. It's just potentially one to look out for as we are forming the pattern. And if we do end up seeing a proper right shoulder form and a break below the neckline, which by the way, the neckline is coming in at around $166. If we see that play out there, then the technical price target for this head and shoulders pattern is coming in at around $150. But either way, it's actually quite likely we're going to see a pretty volatile move sometime soon for both Ethereum and Solana, due to the fact that the volume at the moment is drastically dropping off to the downside. And the lower the volume, the easier it is to manipulate the prices. And also the lower the volume, the more likely we're going to see another volatile move. So definitely get ready for a big move coming soon. And this is why it's important that you're following me over on my Twitter, because on my Twitter, I give you guys real-time updates throughout the day as things are actually playing out. So definitely make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below for those of you that want to stay up to date in these markets at all times. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got something valuable out of this video. And if you did, be sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. As always, I really do appreciate all of your support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.